So Becky Hammond was not pleased with the selection from ESPN of who should be Defensive Player of the Year. The one thing I have been just confused about this season when it comes to the Las Vegas Aces is the constant victimizing where they're crying about awards and pushing their favorite player. And I get it. Like Asia Wilson is the best player in the WNBA, but when it comes to being marketable, who's getting more views, more jersey sales, and more attention, that belongs to Caitlin Clark. But it seems like the Aces feel disrespected every time someone else has a different opinion or they want to pick somebody else for an award. And that doesn't make sense to me. And I understand as a coach that you want to support your players, you want to praise them, you want to make sure that the media understands that, hey, pay attention to my players as well because they're really good at basketball and they deserve some love. But making statements like going down a rabbit hole to find stats, it comes across as someone who is trying to push agendas, trying to cry about something that doesn't really exist, in my opinion, because we recognize that Asia Wilson is the MVP this season. Some people disagree with me. That's fine. I think she's the best player in the WNBA. Some folks are going to disagree with me. I'm okay. But at the same time, when it comes to awards, your players aren't always going to get that love. And I just don't understand because the Aces are two-time defending champs. They're going for a three-peat. And they're acting like they're just overcoming these obstacles as if, nobody respects them. The reality is when Asia Wilson went up against the Lynx, they lost both games. Collier's defensive rating is at a 92. When she's off the court, it's like 99.1. It's a plus 6.9 when she's not on the basketball court. When it comes to Asia Wilson, they're plus 5.5 when she's off the court on defense. So just looking at that stat alone, we see that Collier has a bigger impact when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. Look at the versatility factor. Asia Wilson can't guard 1 through 5 like Fee Collier can. That matters to the voters. So just saying that, you're just trying to find these stats to discredit my players is ridiculous. To act like the voters aren't allowed to have a different opinion than Becky Hammon is ludicrous. She's acting like we have to bow down to everything she says and that we should just automatically put Asia Wilson in every award. That's not how it works. When LeBron James came into the NBA and he was at the peak of his powers, you can argue that he should have won more than 4 MVPs, but he didn't. Does that disqualify him or discredit his accomplishments? No, it does not. There are some years where a player is more valuable, where they have a bigger impact. That doesn't discredit what Asia Wilson has done, but she's going to win MVP. So what else do you want from here on out? I just don't get it. The Aces are acting like they're not getting any respect from the media or any respect from players. That's not true. Now I want to show you what Becky Hammon had to say here.
Yes. So the other day we're in coaches meeting and ESPN, I know you work with ESPN, even I work with ESPN. And I'm just going to say this. Asia Wilson got the MVP stuff right. The Defensive Player of the Year, if you have to, as a journalist or a reporter, have to go down a rabbit hole to find somebody else to be in the conversation, you already have the answer to all your questions.
To say you're not allowed to have a conversation about another player is ridiculous to me. Like, we act like Asia Wilson is above everybody else. That's insane. You're going to have competition. That's why you play sports, right? You compete with another player. So for the voters who are not allowed to have a conversation or even have a discussion is ridiculous. And it's really cringe here from Becky Hammon.
And that's all I'm going to say on it. The last thing I'll say is Sabrina not being on anybody's first team is crazy with the record that they've had. And I know she's not shooting it as well, but she is what makes them go. And so some of that stuff just doesn't make sense. So I'm just wondering, as a reporter, where, if you have to go to what was it? What am I don't read them. My assistants told me, I'm like, you just put me in a bad mood. But what was it? Steals ratio or something like that. I'm like, come on, people.
I think different people look at it different ways. For me, she is my Defensive Player of the Year. Asia is.
Like I said, if you have to go down a rabbit hole to find stats to put somebody else in the conversation, and this is not anything personal, it's just.
Hate to break it to you, that's their job. They're supposed to look at stats and compare them to other players. So when they're looking at an award, they can't just dismiss everybody else and say, oh yeah, they're the clear-cut favorite. They got to be objective, right? I'm not saying they do that all the time, but when you're looking at Fee Collier and her accomplishments, again, they have a +6 difference when she's off the basketball court for defense. The Aces are better on defense when A'ja Wilson's off the floor. There were times this year where A'ja Wilson was more concerned about scoring more than defense. She took possessions off. Fee Collier did not do that. And then when you look at the versatility, Collier is better. That's not being disrespectful. Those are just facts.
And I just hope they don't. Don't be mad that she came to your circus and figured out how to beat your game that has been beating everybody, took all the toys, and now you say you can't play no more.
That facial reaction from Becky Hammond it's just disgusting. It's very cringe. Look, people are going to have different opinions. If you don't like that, stop coaching. Stop participating in sports. It's not a big deal that people are saying that Fee Collier deserves a Defensive Player of the Year award over A'ja Wilson. Yes, she has the blocks. Yes, we understand the defensive win share. But we have to look at the whole picture. The Lynx have a better record. With Collier on the basketball court, she is the anchor for their defense. When she's off the court, their defense drops off. When A'ja Wilson comes off the basketball court, the Aces are better. You can cry about that. You can moan and complain all day long. But the fact is, Collier is more versatile. The fact is, her defensive rating is better than A'ja Wilson's. And if I need somebody to guard multiple positions, I want Fee Collier out there, and I don't want A'ja Wilson out there.
Because she just taking on the toys. Because she figured out the trick of the game. So, you know, I don't know where, like I said, if something is obvious and you have to go digging, then I don't think that's the right thing. It's not about.
It's not obvious, though. People are looking at Collier going, she's been really good on defense this season. You're looking at A'ja Wilson where she's taking plays off. You can complain, you can whine and groan. Go out there and just win. I don't think the Aces are going to go win it all again. I don't think so. I think the Minnesota Lynx are going to win it all. That's just my opinion because I like what they have, and I believe in Collier's versatility, and they're playing really good basketball. And I just want to see what people have to say about this situation. So rude and entitled. A rabbit hole? Sorry, but others have a legit MVP case as well as not just DPOY. This is embarrassing. Exactly. People are allowed to have different opinions. The anchor of the league's best defense is found at the bottom of a rabbit hole. Got it. A'ja has an argument for sure, but to act like Collier at first in defensive rating and second in defensive win shares as the best defender on the best defensive team in the WNBA as a rabbit hole is comical. Again, it's just cringe to me because there's no need for this type of response. You're trying to make your league better, but you want to act like nobody else exists when it comes to A'ja Wilson. That's ludicrous. It's not going to help you grow this league going forward. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of acting this entitled and arrogant when you can just look at the numbers and go, you know what? Collier has a legit case over A'ja Wilson and just leave it there. But no, you're upset because voters aren't allowed to have a conversation. That is insane to me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what Becky Hammon had to say about Collier getting the award or possibly getting the award over A'ja Wilson. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.